Do it.
It's not a rare, it's an epic!
Hey!
Good morning and welcome to the vlog. Yes, it is early, and I'm talking early. 6 a.m. We were up before 6. And today is the day we tried to summit Lone Pine Peak. With all of our preparations and all of our route finding, we hope we can do it. Last final preparations here. Always have to bring paracord. Never know when you got to lower your packs down. Of course, the first aid kit we're going to throw in there. Plenty of water, and it's going to get cold up there. So you always want to bring an extra jacket for sure. And of course, the commentary Avery Enterprise shirts have to be worn because, well, I mean, when we're on the top, we got to show off our pride. So, what do you got to say, guys? Huh?
Getting ready.
Ready to bag a peak. At least these guys are.
Looks like you are too.
Well, you know, eager beavers get on the trail and we get all excited, and then we realize, gosh, this is 9 miles. 9 miles is 9 miles, however you equate it.
Hopefully me and Steve didn't make a rookie mistake. So I have a pair of hiking boots. I've had them since the very first day I started ever hiking. I mean, years and years ago. They're called the Asolo 535. I'm sure you can pronounce that several ways. I had a pair, I was actually wearing the soles off of them. And I thought, what a better time to get a new pair of boots, right? Got another pair of boots. I was gonna bring my old pair for the climb just because I feel like I'm wearing pillows on my feet. But I didn't have enough room, so I am wearing the new kicks. And they're not quite broken in yet, but they still feel like I got pillows on my feet. How about you?
Well, the good news is I did the same thing. So I'm breaking in a
And
new
he
pair of
actually
boots.
has the same pair of boots. So we gotta make sure we keep our boots away from each other, or else we're gonna be, what size you wear?
12s.
Oh gosh, same size as I wear. Yeah,
Interchangeable.
he's gonna be taking mine because mine are a little bit newer, probably a little more shinier. And I'll be like, wait, I don't think I scuffed these out.
A little more broken in might be the trick.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe.
Whoever has the better pair of broken in boots, let me swap.
I should swap with you. Guys, again, good morning and welcome to this glorious day in Lone Pine, California. And I'm talking glorious, and when you turn around and see this, it's gonna bring goosebumps to your body. Not because it's the peak that I'm gonna climb, but the day we arrived here, this peak was shadowed with rays of sunlight. And this morning, the day we're about ready to climb this, I hope you could see that, but that is one heck of a glorious rainbow. It's going up to the heavens. Look. Gosh. That means rain, by the way. That means we're hiking in rain. We're all glorious about the rainbow. That rainbow's cool, but yeah, when you're climbing mountains, it's probably a sign that's inclement weather up there, that's for sure. These look angry, actually, today. But I'm going to take that as God's promise that Avery, you're making it to the top today. Yeah, there was a chipmunk up there.
Oh, that's what was chasing.
Watch your footing there. You start sliding there on that screet, and you're plumaging over.
I'm not looking.
Not an edge, but I mean it's.
I understand what I was looking at, and I appreciate your commentary while I was doing it. Only to freak me out.
Whatever I
more.
can do to be of assistance.
Well, I'm not a hike guy.
You know, it's like the areas like these. I mean, you start sliding here, you're not gonna have anything that's gonna stop you, besides a rock that you're gonna bash into at the bottom.
Yeah, we're not even up on Lone Pine Peak yet. So.
You might be seeing Lone Pine Creek.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. This is just the approach trail. This is actually an established trail. It's a Mason Lake trailhead. Is that what the trailhead was?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mason Lake.
And then we're going to exhaust that trail. and
Thank
then
you,
we're on our
Backpacker
own.
Magazine. Hey! What are you doing over there? Why are you wearing the bandana? It's supposed to be our marking bandana.
That's why I'm wearing it. You got to have a part of me up there on the mountain, you know.
We got to mark one area on the ridge where it gets sketchy so we can find the way down. That's what we were going to mark it with, but now we going to have like this sweaty hanky that we're going to have to hang up there. Or we're going to have Brian hang it or something, right?
Yeah. That's because my leader doesn't want to leave his hat on the ground.
Dude,
He wants to use my
it's a
bag.
Patagucci, man. Steve, you can leave yours. That's an icon, right?
Not leaving the Outback, I know that.
No.
I'll need it for sun protection,
Definitely not
assuming
leaving
there's
the
sun
Nick
up
Avery
there.
role model. You know,
Not leaving the black
you're not
role
leaving
model
that.
shirt.
Yeah. And I guess I could leave my Avery shirt, but if I left my shirt up there, then you'd see me dying of hypothermia up top. So you can't do that.
Have to dig through our bags and find our most disposable item.
That's right. I'll just
Well-
leave this. I'll leave this down jacket up there. You know.
I guess this is the worst that
We
I
won't
could leave.
need that.
Best I could leave.
I'll leave my water purifier behind.
Yeah.
All right. You want to see Brian freak out? Watch this. So we're taking a little bit of a power break here. And there comes Brian.
Facts speak for themselves.
There you go. There's a cedar. All right, let's hit it.
Gosh, I knew he was going to do this. You know, facts speak for themselves. Age, not trained, over 10,000 feet, light air, all uphill vertical. Now, what part of that equation is easy?
Well, let's see. What part of that equation is easy, Steve? Any of them?
Pull out the cheese nips and water and fuel up, and it gets easier.
Power, yeah. Oh, Brian, after you get some water in you, a little bit of grapes, you're going to feel refreshed like you just started this hike.
So far, so good. The situation here with MA is the guide that's taking me up, you see, watching care over me. So as this little scrawny, shriveled little arse can make it as far as I can.
It's not bad. One ranger once told me, wasn't one of the first hikes they did, you can go fast like an arse, or you can put your own terminology in there, or slow like a pro. So they always say go slow like a pro. It saves sprained ankles, any type of disasters along the trail.
Pacing is definitely a good idea.
And rest, power breaks, and hydrate yourself, especially in elevation. Get up here. I'll give you a glimpse of Lone Pine Peak. You know, it's looking slimmer and slimmer that we're going to be able to summit it. The weather here is not looking good. There's some sort of front blowing in, even though there's a little bit of blue skies up by the peak. I don't know what's going on the other side of this ridge, this range, but it could be. Steve said there was a cold front moving in, and it's drizzling right now a little bit, and it's cold, it's nippy. The problem is when you're hiking, you're working up a sweat, so you don't really want to have to put on, you know, layers of jackets, because then you'll get really hot and then run the risk of hypothermia. So I don't know where the rest of the crew is. They're down trail. Actually, you know what? I would say it almost looks like it's actually snowing right now. It's actually snowing. On my fuzzy mic, it's collecting some snow. You might be able to see it. We got snow. So the higher we get, we could have snow up there. Brian way down there. Steve. Kind of gives you the perspective of the switchbacks up a canyon. And Lone Pine Peak, covered in clouds. Actually, there's a lot of places in the world that a lot of people go, but for me, there's no place in this world that I would rather be, especially right now on a Thursday, is in the Sierras, man. I love the Sierras. And how could you not love the Sierras? That's what we came, switchback after switchback after switchback.
Yeah,
Yes.
the altitude doesn't lie. You feel it in your head, in your body, everywhere.
Brian is still with us. I'm proud of that fella.
I'm making it
He's gonna do it.
slow like a pro.
That's right. See that snow coming in?
Yeah.
Repeat.
Already to encounter that.
That was a repeat of last time when Austin and I were here. We walked into a snowstorm.
It's called the Sierra Nevada as well.
It's got a weather system of its own. It does.
The wilderness. The wilderness owns you. You don't own the wilderness. You try to survive here.
That's right. It's not Disneyland. So we're here. We're trying to determine what is the summit there of Lone Pine. I'm assuming it's this right there, and not these two. And over there are false summits. So we are going up this ridge, and then we're going to go skirt the back side of the ridge right there. We're not coming in on this side. We're going to come in on the what side? Was that the northeast side?
Northeast, I think.
Yeah, northeast side.
If you look close enough, you'll see that we've powder sugared Lone Pine Peak today with snow.
Because it is
Pretty
snowing
nice.
out here.
Yeah.
Look at his jacket.
Yeah, we got snow.
Yeah.
And
My fuzzy mic my fuzzy mic has it accumulating on it. And hopefully there's not specks on my camera lens. Look at the fresh snow. Speckling there. That's fresh. That's fresh, guys. I don't know what this sign says here, but Mason Lake. Good news, Brian, we made it. Well, at least we made it to where the lakes are. We didn't make it to the summit yet.
Trailhead's divider.
Most people watching don't realize that when you get back in and you start getting off trail, especially for route finding and all, that it's very hard to route find. But you rely on these things. Steve, explain to us.
Well, a rock cairn, you stack it up, and we're looking all around saying, man, is it this way, is it that way? I mean, so far today it's just been easy. You just follow the trail in front of you. From this point for a while, there's no trail, there's rock cairns.
Because this is what it's looking like. Rugged Sierras, rugged USA. So when you're back up in here, unfortunately there's no, what do you call, water fountains, porta potties. So you have to, I already went through this. This was the water, and we brought some bottled water, but if this is probably our last chance we have to pump water, considering the rest is going to be a climb. We're utilizing our water source and filling up our Nalgene bottles. Steve's next.
Got to get some water before the next one, because this is the last chance water stop.
Is that bringing back ugly memories of backcountry?
Especially, I don't have this as a memory, because usually I'm not bringing in a 20-ounce water bottle, so it makes it a little more difficult.
When you're backpacking, you're actually out here for a couple of days. The most ugly, not the ugliest, the most how would you call it? The most worst thing that you have to do or think about is having to pump water. It's like the most unfavored job of everybody. I was always thankful I only had to pump one today, because usually when you're back here for multiple days, you got to pump like 6, because you got to cook your food, the whole 9 yards. It's where the climb begins, guys. It's where the climb begins. This is where we're gonna go. We're following the screet, circling around the back side of the ridge of the summit, which is right up there. I am literally at a loss for words right now. This may sound over dramatic, but it's not. I'm just at a loss for words. I couldn't film. There's no way, it was impossible to film what we did.
It's undescribable how we got up to this point.
And we got to make sure this is what we went through, is what Backpacker Magazine and what Doug, everybody told us was the crux of this climb. And my gosh, if there's anybody out there that said that was easy, either I'm really out of shape or I don't know. What's your take?
That was extremely difficult hiking. And it wasn't even hiking, it was crawling up on crazy conditions.
I mean, I'll try to film it when at some point it's going down, but there was not even a comfortable spot that I felt comfortable taking my pack off.
or a comfortable spot pulling a camera out, because Steve was literally underneath me practically. We had to stagger our climbing because at a couple points we had knocked some rocks down, and at one point I thought we had bad rock finding again, but then we started seeing these currents, which are basically these rock formations. This one here is white. At this point here, and there's another one right over there. We were going to put Steve's handkerchief or something here as a marker, but I think we have a lot of markers here. This is where they told us to leave a marker. This is where everybody that's told us to climb, that you can easily get in trouble. And I believe it's that over there. If you were to leave a marker there and try to start down climbing, thinking that's the way you came up, well, let me say something. That would be goodbye, Danny Green.
There's no mercy in the Sierra. No mercy. And as excited as I am to get up to this point, we haven't even actually crested and then gone towards the peak. Whether that's even feasible for me, I have no idea yet.
The good thing they said is 0.6 miles from the time that we reached the ridge, and we've almost reached the ridge. I think we're going to do it. The bad thing is, but I mean, hey, I always say it, life is an adventure, and I don't just preach it, okay, or talk the talk, I walk the walk. That's why I'm here. And it's an adventure. But it's also 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we start at 7:30. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Going down's a lot quicker, I'm hoping, but if not, it's gonna be a flashlight.
It'll be a long night.
It's gonna be a flashlight night.
Long day, long night.
But you know what? You're gonna find out in probably less than 5-10 minutes, because if this vlog makes it out of here and you're watching this vlog, stay tuned, because in one chapter, you're going to either see us stand at the top, or you're going to see us sliding down the chute, or you're going to see us with flashlights. So, yeah, Brian, he's down there waiting on us, and I guess if we don't come out, he'll know to send somebody in. But as long as Steve and I stay together, you know why? Because 2 brains are better than 1. One guy gets summit fever, and the other guy can bring him and wheel him back into reality.
Exhausted right now.
Like I say, not sounding over dramatic, but this ain't Disneyland up here. This is rock climbing, mountaineering at its finest. If you can ever get over fear of heights and get enough gumption to try this, it's pretty rewarding. But to be honest with you, I've said this when I was trying to do, I don't think I'm going to do this one again. If anybody wants to come to visit Brian and tag Lone Pine Peak, they might have to do it by themselves, because this was rough. And I can tell you this one thing, whoever does it better train. They better train hard. Because I definitely did not. Well, for the day, I feel like the king of the Sierra. Steve, I think you're at the most highest point of Lone Pine Peak.
Probably the highest point I've ever been.
The highest point I've ever been. The thing is there's no marker up here. I've searched everywhere, and it's definitely not up there, right?
Yeah.
And from this vantage point, there's no more false summits, and we fell for those false summits several times. And by the way, it drops off over here. I'm talking drop-offs. Look at this. Whitney Portal, I didn't want to think about that's where we started. And that's where we have to go. See the Whitney Portal Road down there? Is this even filming? The Whitney Portal Road there? That's where we started. But we had to loop a long ways to get to here. I'm talking a long way. Somebody put a rock up over there, but I don't think that's the marker.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
I'm not seeing anything, man.
I think that's the marker.
And I don't care whether there's one up here. So anybody watching this that's saying, yeah, there's one there, I can't find it, and I looked hard, and I made it to the top. I don't give a crap what anybody says. So in 1 minute here, Steve and I are going to bring you an infamous thing that's going to happen for every mountain that I climb from this point on. So stay tuned.
To the top of the world. To the top of Lone Pine Peak. We said we'd do it, right? Brian?
Set our goal, and I wasn't even so sure, but here we are at the very top.
2017, Brian, that's your year. Brian, I did this one for you. Steve, you did too.
I
Brotherly love, my
had
friend.
to do it for Brian.
Brotherly love.
Lone
And you did
Pine
good,
resident.
man. But it was, and it's not over. I probably made the most foolish mistake of any mountaineer. I mean, it's past 3 o'clock. I summited, yeah, I'm happy. I'm joyful.
We got
But we still got to make it off
hike
this
ahead
mountain.
of us.
This is a 9.6 mile hike, and we've only done half of that right now. So we still got another, yeah. And we started at 7:30 in the morning,
We got a lot ahead of us.
and it's probably 3:30 now. So
Yeah.
with that, the infamous Gummy salute to
There
the
it
top of the
is.
world, 2017, Lone Pine.
Let's do it.
It's not a rare, it's an epic.
Hey! Ha ha! Gummies.
Again, man. It's a highlight of my summer. How's it feel? First mountain you climb, right?
Well, earlier in this trip, I talked about something being great. That's because I hadn't earned the great adventure. I've done it.
And I don't know, what's the altitude?
12.9 or something?
No, it's 13.9.
Well, it
it's
was-
almost
oh,
a
I thought it was-
14er.
I
It's
thought it was
not
a little under
12.9, I
13.
don't think, because Byers Peak was 12. This is officially the highest peak I've ever tagged, the highest peak that I ever climbed. Sure, you can drive to a high peak in a car. It's not half as rewarding.
And look at the sun shining. This morning, this whole thing was just snowing
There's a
up
snowstorm up here.
here. So we're definitely blessed with
And there,
amazing
you know what,
weather.
down there? It's probably Lone Pine.
Well, it's absolutely Lone
That's
Pine.
Lone Pine. Owens Valley. Of course, you guys are getting the splendor. In fact, probably somewhere over there is Mount Whitney. One thing's for certain, man, the Sierras give you some massive mountains. They may not look massive from the road, but when you start getting up here and climbing them, boulders from down there look like pea gravel. And these things are the size of cars. And by the way, the wind is whipping up here, and the temperature is frigid. And at a few points, that wind whipped up to gusts. I mean, gusts.
All we could do is sit still and wait it out because it was precarious at best.
It was rough. All right, well, let's get down off this beast. When people start panicking and losing their heads, they start
make the wrong decisions.
They make bad decisions. So the biggest things you want to do up here is keep good heads. So we made it back to where we marked the Currans. So we know that this is where we go down. If we would have headed down the wrong one, that could have been bad news.
Yeah, we at least
So
know
we're
we're
on the right
going
path.
down where we came up, which was very, very important. Coming up was the hardest part of this whole hike.
But unfortunately, this is the part that Steve and I have been dreading, because it was not fun coming up because it was sketchy.
Yeah.
We've debated whether or not to keep this vlog camera going,
I'm glad I'm not going to hold it. I know that.
because it's really hard to any place to even drop a pack to get it in a pack again. I think I'm going to try it. I'll do it. It's for you guys.
Put it in later.
Come on, hit that like button if I'm going to do this. You haven't seen it yet. Maybe I'll wuss out here, but dude, hit that like. Hit the like button, comment, do something. We're risking our lives out here for you guys. We were on this corner. Maybe you'll see what we came up.
Okay, the initial was this loose stuff. But we definitely want to.
I'm rounding the corner here.
We want to
For,
verge to the left.
wanna
not
round this-
immediately.
holy crap! Yeah, that's what we came up. And
We want to go over towards the left face to get down.
left, or right, or the easiest way down.
So we just
All right,
wanna get
guys, you know
boxed
what?
in.
Listen, you saw what we have to go down. I'm dropping my pack. This is going in my pack. I got to concentrate on making it down safely. Sorry. but I just made that executive decision. What do you think? Wouldn't you agree?
I was in on that one before you decided to take it.
That's what we got to go down. You saw it. You know what? I'll video it. I'll video it from the other side when I make it down to the bottom. That's all I can do for you.
Feeling much better down to an actual trail we can follow, so no brainer hiking.
We made it off of that, and actually over there, that's what we came down.
No sense, no.
And you don't know how glad I am to be on a trail, an actual trail that we can scooch down like a highway, Highway 395.
Exactly what it is now.
Yes, the peak that we sat on was up there. It's amazing.
It's really crazy to stand even only part way down and look up to see what we were on hours ago. It's insanity.
It's almost scary. I'll never do this again. All right, sun's going down, and we still have to make it to the bottom of that valley. And my knee is killing me. It's funny because I think Steve's is too.
Not a happy camper, although I guess we could call ourselves not a happy mountain climber. Right now.
But it might look like we're gonna have to try and navigate down this with a flashlight. Because I don't know if we're gonna make it out. We still got miles to go. Miles. That's my monotonous view of going down this trail. And I'm beat. And the sun's going down.
Man, sure hope to be out of here before dark.
It's a dang gone death march.
The wind's whipping down this.
The wind is whipping
valley.
like 100 miles an hour, feels like.
It's chilly.
Why do I keep showing you the monotonous trail? Because it helps keeps me moving along. And it's getting dark. Before long, I think we're gonna have to pull a flashlight. Unless, pray to God, the trailhead is up here soon. And pray to God Brian waited for us. Really pitch black, dude. And we could barely see the trail. This is not turning out, but we're so happy to see this car. Oh, Brian.
Wow.
Brian, we love you.
Wow.
Woo. We love you.
How do you know when to back up?
It's the most strenuous day. Food vlog. Yeah. Me and Steve look like a bunch of old men walking into this place. We can barely walk right now. I'm beat.
They're the heroes, though. They actually they bagged it.
Barely can talk. All we had is water and gorp and who knows what
Well,
snack food all day. So
they
good
pushed-
meal tastes good.
They pushed their bodies to the extreme with stamina, strength, balance, coordination, all these things that you learn in gym class. We're put to the test. I mean, seriously. Look at our faces. We're all.
I know. The waiter came by and he's like, "You guys had a hard day of hiking, huh?" I'm like, "How'd you tell?" He's like, "You can tell by the face." Probably by how I was limping in here, barely walking in here, getting pushed in a wheelchair. So I'm gonna see if Steve, we're beat by the way, if Steve can actually close us out the right way tonight.
There's no doubt
So,
about
wait a
it.
minute, hold on a minute. Steve, what is life?
Life is a great adventure.
Peace out.
Peace out.